Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is your host, Rising Oblivion. Guys, it is the day Persona 5 Royal ports are officially released, so you can go ahead and grab it and everything. I'm super excited about this. I have been playing this for a little while, though. Thank you, ATLUS, for giving me a early code to play Persona 5 Royal. I've been playing on the Switch for quite a while, and I surprisingly got my PS5 version of the game pretty early. So in the background, you're actually going to be seeing PS5 footage. I don't have a super good way at capturing my PS5, and it's in 4K, so a lot of times it looks a little bit worse, but trust me, what you see in the background, it actually looks a whole lot better in person. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what this early access video is going to be like, and more or less I'm going to be comparing my experience with playing it on the Switch, playing on the PS5, and what I've heard from a lot of my very close friends within the Mega 10 community, a lot of bigger YouTubers and whatnot, who have played it on PC. I know just about all of them, so I have a very decent consensus as to like what things are, how they play on the different platforms and everything so far. And I'm going to do a more in-depth comparison video just to help you guys out later, but just for now I wanted to quickly get something out just to explain a little bit of, you know, our experiences, our first impressions of this port. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. Now before we jump into the port differences, one thing I wanted to say here is we are playing a international version of Persona 5 Royal when we play this. So what do I mean by that exactly? Well, there were certain countries that would not accept Persona 5 Royal, or just I guess base P5, in certain ways, because there were certain stipulations with certain countries that actually would not want to have that game in their country, more specifically Korea and China. So what that means exactly is we're getting the like so-called international version, which means no countries have like any bad will or anything about the game that they don't like. A lot of that usually has to do with Japanese imagery of like old imperialism. So like the old Japanese flag, like the Rising Sun flag, that's out of the game. Ryuji's shoes, for instance, used to have that actual imperial, you know, sun flag on it, but that's gone. That's no longer in the game. It's actually just, I think, white shoes. If you look at the Korean versions of the game, you can see that he's just like wearing white sneakers. It doesn't actually have that, you know, Japanese flag on it. Same thing with the Almighty skills. The Almighty skill used to kind of look like a sunburst. It no longer does anymore. It's just like a spiral. Very minor changes. There's apparently some other things here or there, but nothing that you'd, maybe not even something you'd even notice playing through the game. The Almighty skill thing is the first thing I noticed right away. Then I've seen some other creators talking about this, so this is like the international version of this game, so that's kind of the only differences you're seeing there. But let's jump over into the different versions. Like I said, I've been playing the Switch version. I'm going to throw up a picture right now on the screen, so thank you Pi Studios for making this. He's part of SMT and Friends. I got this picture from him. Right here is two different versions. This is not just one picture here. I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to look because it's being captured, but this is two different versions of the game. What you're seeing on the left is the Switch version. What you're seeing on the right is the PS4 version, which we're all kind of used to. Basically, what I'm trying to show you with this footage here is that the game really did not render down any models or anything. The rendering is still exactly the same, so the texture quality is still there. The only thing that is different with the Switch is the resolution. Some people wanted to know, does the texture quality dip, or the models lower resolution in terms of like the models themselves, not just the screen resolution? Really, the only thing that is different with the Switch version is that the screen's resolution is obviously down. It's in 720p, so it looks a little bit worse, but you do have a handheld, so it looks that way. Now let's go over some more things with the Switch. Load times for me have been just fine. I've been playing this, like I said, for about a month now, so I've never really had any issues with load times. Again, the game's not really, you know, super intensive when it comes to hard drive stuff. The graphics look pretty good. Music sounds pretty good. It is what you about expect from a Switch version of it. I wouldn't say it's unplayable. Not by any means. Definitely not unplayable. Still a fun experience. Although, jumping on over to the PS5, wow. I did not expect this to play and feel the way it did. It actually feels, in my personal opinion, significantly better on the PS5. I'm not 100% sure what it is, if it's just the fact that I have a 4K monitor now and I'm playing on the PS5 and it just looks much cleaner, but not just that, the game looks much cleaner and much smoother. Animations, gameplay stuff, you know, like attacks and whatnot. The actual cutscenes, not so much when it comes to the animated cutscenes. I think a lot of those are sort of still the same, but when it comes to anything movement-wise in this game, even like the menus or transitions or character pop-ins, the dialogue, just characters walking across the screen, battle attacks, different things like that, sprinting, running, it feels so much smoother. And a lot of that probably has to deal with the fact that on the PS5 it is you know, 60 frames per second, and I noticed that a lot. Load screens are boom, gone. The SSD in the PS5 practically eliminates like load screens for this. I swear some of the transitions that happen on, like on the subway where you see like the silhouettes of the people walking by, I think a lot of that is just there for the hell of it. I'm not even 100% sure if like it's needed, because it's like literally a couple seconds and it just stops. I don't even know if it's needed. I think it's just there just to be more of a cinematic type thing now to show that you're going through the subway. I really don't think it's even needed anymore, but that is what you can kind of expect also if you're playing this on PC. You know, depending on how well you play this, you know, on your PC is kind of up to your PC, right? It depends on your build, depends how it is. I made a video talking about the PC specs, so go back and watch that video if you're curious to see if your PC is strong enough. Again, going for the next-gen consoles, like I said in a couple of my past videos, is always the safe bet. You're always going to know for sure that it's at least a upgrade if you're going from, you know, PS4 up to Xbox Series X or going to the PS5. It's always going to be a bonus and upgrade there. But man, jumping from 30 frames to 60 frames always feels so much more significant because you're doubling the frame rate, right? You're not jumping from 60 to 90 where it's only a third. No, you're doubling the frames in this game, and it's noticeable. You can really tell. Like I said, the movement stuff and a lot of the battle stuff feels so much better. This truly is the definitive version of this game because, like the ports and all the other next-gen versions, you get all of the DLC with this. So you're playing this in the best resolution, best frame rate, all the DLC, anything you could want out of P5, anything that could be improved is improved when it comes to next-gen versions of this game. Which this kind of leads to the next topic though. Yeah, maybe it is an improvement on everything, but is it worth the price point? Is $60 worth all of this stuff? I personally would say if you're a diehard P5 fan, yes, definitely, because it has all the DLC. Especially if you haven't played all the DLC for this game, get it, because all of it is bundled in there. There's countless costume DLCs, battle DLC, stuff like that. It's all included, which is nice, because that completely changes the experience when it comes to extra fights and things that you can do. There's other special modes that can take up some different time there. A lot of the battles that you see there with the twins when you go to, you know, the jail cell and everything else to look at all the different battles there, it's pretty cool. There's lots of different challenges that you can do there with the DLC, and the costumes are cool, different music and stuff like that as well, but I don't know. It really depends on you whether or not you think the DLC is worth it. If you're a person, however, has played P5 Royal on the PS4, you know about all the DLC, you've played all the different costumes, you know about all the different sounds and music and different stuff like that. Is it worth $60 just for the flat-out improvement upgrades when it comes to the resolution and frame rate? I would say no for $60. I think a lot of people kind of agree on that. I don't think it's probably worth it when it comes to that. Now, if you're trying to play it on Switch to get that portability, I think the portability is worth it because it's a JRPG. JRPGs just feel at home when it comes to the Switch. It really does. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of playing handheld games like Pokemon all the time. For me, just like when I see turn-based on a handheld, it just feels right to me. I don't know why. I love it. I don't know why, but P5 on the Switch feels great. Feels good. It's exactly what we wanted, guys. Like, literally, it's just the PS4 version, but like 720p. That's what it feels like to me. I really can't tell any difference. That's just about what it is. And having it on a smaller screen, handheld, 720p, looks like 1080p if you drag it out into like a 32-inch TV. So, like, man, it looks exactly the same, right? I think I meant that backwards. 720p shrink down to a handheld. It looks just about the same. So if you're playing in handheld mode, great. If you're docking it and playing on the TV, it's obviously going to look pretty bad. Like I said, resolution-wise, texture quality on the stuff is still going to try and be the same, but the resolution's obviously going to be worse, and the frame rates are going to be obviously locked at 30. You're not going to be able to ever go over that. But the next-gen versions, of course, can. It runs much smoother. Like I said, the PS5 version, the next-gen versions of this are the definitive way to play this game. I've enjoyed it so far. I think these are good ports, clean ports. I think they did an excellent job. A lot of people were worried about how this is going to transition to PC and Switch because we've seen some recent stuff in the past, especially like when Strikers jumped to Switch, or well, it came out on Switch. People were worried because we obviously know that it wasn't created for the Switch. It was created for main console stuff and then ported over, just how we had with P5 here with all these ports. People were worried that it was going to be kind of bad because we've seen experiences in the past where they tried to port stuff to PC and to Switch and it kind of went bad. A lot of that stuff is third party, however, we know that Sega was in charge of these ports, and it shows because they're awesome and they're very fun, very good. Like I said, the Switch version is literally just the PS4 version, maybe a little bit more load time, maybe, you know, just a little bit of sluggishness here and there, but man, it's pretty much just the PS4 version. I really can't tell a difference. It's just that good. PS5 definitive versions, I'm being a little bit redundant, but I'm happy about it. I'm excited about it. I'm going to be streaming through the game, I think, all over again on the PS5 because it's made me excited. It makes me want to actually go through with it all over again. I'm going to be doing immersive mode, so you can check that out here on the channel if you're curious about that because, dude, I'm ready to go through it again. I think we'll do it one more time, have this be my true, definitive, final, you know, like, run-through of P5, having all the DLC, playing it in 4K, having it, you know, HDR on, 60 frames. I'm ready to, like, give this my final, like, sort of playthrough, I guess you could say, of Persona 5. I guess that's kind of what I'm going to be going for. Over on my Twitch, because it's October, I've been streaming some horror games and stuff, so you can check all that down in the link below. Join the Discord channel. Become a member on the channel today. Have some special emotes and things like that. Maybe go check out SMT and Friends. I'm an admin there. We're doing a giveaway currently of Soul Hackers 2 and maybe some more goodies down the road. Wink, wink. Catch that stuff. I will see you all later. Thank you all so much for watching. Till next time. Bye!